after that, we're going to watch a slideshow of Howard's life.
First of all, I want to thank everyone for coming out today and honoring and celebrating my grandpa, as you've already heard thus far. He was a fantastic man. I will miss him dearly. And I'm sure in the back of your head, you're probably wondering where I got this snazzy shirt, and you can thank my grandpa for that. As I saw everyone walking in, I pulled my mom aside and I said, "We're a little underdressed today." And she said, "That's the way grandpa would have wanted it." And so again, I just want to thank you and reiterate the gratitude from my family. Saddleback has done a phenomenal job just supporting us, helping us make some tough decisions. You forget how hard those decisions are and when you're put in there. So as I got ready to write some thoughts down for today's service, I realized I've walked many miles in the journey of grief, and there's some lessons I've learned in that journey, in that grief does not define you, but rather refines you. It does not destroy you, but rather develops you. And though there's no really manual on how to get through grief, there is a manual, and that which is God is with us. And God is in this moment right now with us. He, just as he's holding Grandpa or Howard, he's holding us as well. And what a encouraging and hopeful sight that is. And so my earliest memories of my grandpa kind of start here, actually. We'd all go to church at 4 p.m. or 4:30 at the time up at the worship center. And I would be standing up on these chairs, during worship with my child at the time, and we'd be having a grand old time. And I remember fishing, and if you know me, I do not like fishing in the slightest. I'd rather watch paint dry, and that is the God honest truth. That's no exaggeration, but as you've heard, I come from a family that loves fishing. So they would drag my butt out sometimes, and we're going fishing, and I'm like, Back early when I was young, I'd go just for the free, soda, and I thought that was a good bargain. Later on, I saw the value of fishing. It was just spending time. I mean, what else more could you want? Just enjoying nature and enjoying good company. But I still don't like fishing, so don't invite me. And I also recalled my grandpa, he would often pick me up from my preschool and drive me to Little Lamb practice here, which was a little choir. I don't know if they still have it, but I'm not a singer, so don't get your hopes up either on that one. So he would drive me, and at the time I think he had an old Cadillac. Grandpa always had nice cars. Cadillac, Chrysler, now currently he has a Cadillac. But back in the day, we'd mob in that thing and with our windows down, and we would just cruise. And I remember just sitting there and just, at a young age, realizing this was special. Just enjoying the warm air coming through the car, and I enjoyed it. And I think what I most enjoyed about that time was my grandpa believed in me. And not that I had a lack of people believing in me. I have a great support system that believes in me. But it was something about my grandpa believing in me that just empowered me. It made me believe that I could do anything. And I just remember throughout growing up, every time we'd sit down or breakfast on Sundays or whatever, he would just, it'd almost be a little embarrassing how much he loved to believe in me and believe in all of us. It wasn't just me. Let's not get selfish here, but he believed in all of the grandkids, and he just loved on us, and I will miss that incredibly. One of my most, I think, intimate moments between my grandpa and I was a couple of years back. Our family suffered a severe tragedy, a loss of two friends to a car accident. And I got home later that afternoon, the night previous to that happened. I got home that night, or that whatever, and he was just there on my porch waiting for me. And it was just him and I, and he just embraced me, and he held me. And to this day, that sticks out to me, because Grandpa was someone that showed up, regardless of how difficult it was going to be for either him or for whatever. He showed up. And we just hugged there. And I just knew that that's how I wanted to be when I continued to grow up and become a man, with someone like that, to show up during the difficult times and just be generous in my resources. And Grandpa was very generous. I think another quick story for you. When I first got my license, I was a sophomore in high school. And I had this car, which I called a jalapeno. It was a Buick. I mean, definitely no chick magnet. Let's not get carried away. But to me, it was all I needed. And so I visited the grandparents and was showing the ride off. And Grandpa slipped me a 20. He said, for emergencies. I was like, oh, yeah, of course, emergencies. The emergency occurred pretty quickly, actually, that night, because I had to stop at Sonic. I got really hungry. And I'm like, Grandpa would not want me to be hungry. So every time I would see him, he'd try to slip me a 20, and I'm like, Grandpa, come on, you know better. I'm not going to save that. But very generous, and I will miss him dearly. I think a verse that has really stuck out to me in any kind of grief is Psalms 94:19. It says, Lord, when doubts fill my mind and my heart is in turmoil, your presence gave me renewed hope and cheer. And I think the key word in that verse is presence. God is in the midst of this confusion and frustration. And just as Grandpa's in God's presence, and he's celebrating, just like Nick said, I'm sure he's fishing and having a grand old time catching more fish than he ever did down here, that's for sure. And so I just want to finish by saying to Babushka, I'm glad that you stuck it out with him. I'm eternally grateful, because if you hadn't, I would have missed out on a spectacular grandpa. I would have missed out on a lifelong role model to really mirror my life on. And I hope one day I can be just as good of a grandfather as he was. So again, thank you so much for everyone being here. I know Grandpa or Howard would really appreciate it. Thank you.